Okay, shall we start? Mm. So how we should go? Like first we will read the shloka. Everybody can read. Then we can read synonyms and then translation and purport, and then we can discuss little bit together. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pushtaya Bhutale Shrimate Rahmat Swami Iti Namane Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pushtaya Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशता जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today we are starting Nectar of Instruction by Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami and translated by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So before going to read the shloka, what is this? Your speaking language is not detected. Okay, my voice is audible.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so before we go into shloka, I will read the preface. Okay. So this book, across five countries and half the globe, comes this compact guidebook for essential spiritual reading. How to choose a guru, how to practice yoga, even where to live. You will find it all in this invaluable work, originally written in Sanskrit by Srila Rupa Goswami, the greatest spiritual genius of India. Now translated and illuminated by Rupa Goswami's modern successor, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the nectar of instruction is the key to enlightenment for all seekers on the path of spiritual perfection. So this is the introduction, right? So now I will read the preface by Srila Prabhupada. Anybody will like to read? Okay, let me read because if you go back, Anmol.
Yes, sorry, Prabhuji.
Yeah, you can read.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Preface. The Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of the Srila Rupa Goswami, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas or the six Bengali Vaishnavas, who are mostly followers of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom the six Goswamis of the Vrindavan are direct disciples. Therefore, Srila Narottam Das Thakura has sung रूपा रघुनाथ पादे हाई बे अकुति काबे हम बुझहबा से युगल प्रीति. Meaning, when I am eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of the Radha and Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the Lord to bestow upon the human society the benediction of the signs of the Krishna. The most exalted of all the activities of the Lord Krishna are his pastimes of the conjugal love with the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the best of the gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in his footsteps, one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of the six Goswamis. Sri Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Bhatta Raghunatha Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Das Raghunatha Goswami. Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswamis, and to guide our activities, he gave us Upadhismrita, the nectar of instruction to follow. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind him the 8 verses known as Sikshashtaka, Rupa Goswami gave us Upadhismrita so that we can become pure Vaishnavas. In all the spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless one control his mind and senses, one cannot make an advancement in the spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is engrossed in the modes of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattva Guna, by following the instruction of the Rupa Goswami, and then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. Advancement in the Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. A follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Vaishnavas are generally born known as Goswamis. In Vrindavana, this is the title by which the director of each temple is known. One who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna must become a Goswami. Go means the senses and Swami means the master. Unless one controls his senses and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. To achieve the highest success in the life by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instruction known as Upadeshvata, which have been given by the Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many other books such as Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, with Vidgara Madhava and Lalita Madhava, and Upadesmrata constitutes the first instruction of the neophytes devotees. One should follow this instruction very strictly. Then it will be easier to make one life successful. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So this actually is the first book that any devotees recommend. Okay. Here, Srila Prabhupada writes neophyte, right? So generally, first instruction for neophyte devotees, generally we say that neophyte is like who is just starting. But that is from Srila Prabhupada's view that is written. Okay. Because Srila Prabhupada was pure devotee, right? That's why he was able to preach so much. So from his angle, so we all, it does not depend how many years you spend practicing Krishna consciousness. Sometimes it's said that, okay, I've spent 25 years, 30 years, 40 years. But everybody from his angle is neophyte. And for that purpose, these books actually applies to everyone. So still, like if you see Srila Prabhupada disciples also read these books because these are very clear instructions, okay, how to proceed. So reading the pastimes is of course good, helpful, but following these instructions actually makes us a pathway how to proceed to do bhakti. So now we'll go to the first verse. I see the purport of the first verse is long. So we have to read the purport to understand the shloka correctly, and then we discuss, right? So I think everybody can read 1 or 2 paragraphs so that we become involved. Okay, so the text one, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vedam, Udaro Pashta Vegam, Etan Vegan Yo Vishaheta Dhira, Sarvam Apimam Prithvim Sa Shishyat. Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vedam, Udaro Pashta Vegam, Etan Vegan Yo Vishaheta Dhira, Sarvam Apimam Prithvim Sa Shishyat. Anybody wants to read or chant?
Yes. Vacham Vegam Nasa Bodhavegam Jiva Vegam Mudro Stavegam Eta Veganyo Vishaheta Dhira Sarvamapi Mam Tvim Sashishat.
Anybody else?
वाचो वेगं मनसः क्रोधवेगं जिह्वावेगं उदरहस्तो वेगं एतान् वेगान् यो विसहेत धीर सर्वाम् अपिमां पृथिवीं सस्यात्.
Okay, or anybody want to try? It's just a simple, very clear. Okay, so what to word? Vacha of speech, Vegam, urge. So if you see here, the Vegam word is how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times it's there. So there must be 5 to 6 things which instigate us to do something, right? So Vacha Vegam is the first one. Urge to speak. Then Manasa of the mind. Krodha, everybody knows Krodha is anger. Vegam. So urge of mind, urge to speak, urge of minds, urge of Krodha, anger. Then Jiva Vegam. Jiva is the tongue. Vegam, urge. Udara means stomach, right? Udara upashta of the belly and genital. Upashta is genitals. Vegam again, urge. Etan vegan. These vegan urges. Yo means whoever. Vishaheta can tolerate. Vishaheta can tolerate. Dhira, sober person. Sarvam, all. Apimam. Api means certainly. Imam means this. Apimam. Prithivim in the world. Prith world. So that personality, Shishya, can make disciples. So you see, like there are these urges, if you can tolerate these urges, just tolerate. Then you can make disciples all over the world. And such a person is called sober, dhira. So this definition of a sober person, when we say who is the sober person, Vaishnava is a sober person. Why? Because of all these qualities. Now, translation. A sober person can tolerate the urge to speak, mind demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals. He is qualified to make disciples all over the world. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of tongue, belly, and genital is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So I will read first couple of paragraphs, okay? Then we all can read one by one. So purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.9 and 10, Parikshit Maharaj placed a number of intelligent questions before Sukadeva Goswami. One of these questions was, why do people undergo atonement if they cannot control their senses? For instance, a thief may know perfectly well that he may be arrested for stealing, and he may actually see even a thief arrested by police, yet he continues to steal. Experience is gathered by hearing and seeing. Hearing, seeing. One who is less intelligent gathers experience by seeing. And one who is more intelligent gathers experience by hearing. When an intelligent person hears from the law book and the Shastras or the scriptures that stealing is not good and hears that a thief is punished when arrested, he refrains from theft. A less intelligent person may first have to be arrested and punished for stealing to learn to stop stealing. However, a rascal or foolish man may have the experience of both hearing and seeing and may even be punished, but still he continues to steal. Even if such a person atones and is punished by the government, he will again commit theft as soon as comes out of the jail. If punishment in jail is considered atonement, what is the benefit of such atonement? Thus, Parikshit Maharaj inquired. Drishta Shrutabhyam Yat Papam Janan Api Atmano Itam Karoti Bhuyo Vivasha पश्चाच्चित्तम् अथो कथं क्वचिन्निवर्तते अभद्रात् क्वचित् चरति तत् पुनः चरति पुनः चरति प्रायश्चित्तम् अथो अपर पार्थं मन्ये कुंजर शौचवात्. He compared atonement to an elephant's bathing. The elephant may take very nice bath in river, but as soon as he comes out of the bank, he throws dirt all over his body. What then is the use of bathing? Similarly, many spiritual practitioners chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and at the same time commit many forbidden things, thinking that their chanting will counteract their offenses. Of the 10 types of offenses one can commit while chanting the holy name of the Lord, this offense is called Namo Bala Dhyasya Papa Buddhi, committing sinful activities on the strength of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Similarly, certain Christians go to church to confess their sins, thinking that confessing their sins before a priest and performing some penance will relieve them from the results of their weekly sins. As soon as Saturday is over, Sunday comes, they again begin their sinful activities, expecting to be forgiven next Saturday. This kind of prayaschitta or atonement is condemned by Parikshit Maharaj, the most intelligent king of his time. Sukdev Goswami, equally intelligent as befitting the spiritual master of Maharaj Parikshit, answered the king and confirmed that his statement concerning atonement was correct. A sinful activity cannot be counteracted by pious activity. Thus, the real prayaschitta atonement is the awakening of our dormant Krishna consciousness. Anybody like to read? Somebody, please.
Hare Krishna.
Mhm.
Real atonement involves coming to real knowledge, and for this there is a standard process. When one follows a regulated hygienic process, he does not fall sick. A human being is meant to be trained according to certain principles to receive his original knowledge. Such a such a methodical life is described as tapasya. One can be gradually elevated to a standard of real knowledge or Krishna consciousness by practicing austerity and celibacy, brahmacharya, by controlling the mind, by controlling the senses, by giving up one's possessions in charity, by being avowedly truthful, by keeping clean, and by practicing yogasana. However, if one is fortunate enough to get the association of pure deity, he can easily surpass all the practices for controlling the mind by the mystic yoga process simply by following the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness. Refraining from illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, and by engaging in the service of Supreme Lord under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master. This easy process is being recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami. First, one must control his speaking power. Every one of us has the power of speech. As soon as we get an opportunity, we begin to speak. If we do not speak about Krishna consciousness, we speak about all sort of nonsense. A toad is filled speaks by croaking, and similarly, everyone who has a tongue wants to speak, even if all he has to say is nonsense. The croaking of the toad, however, simply invites the snakes. Please come here and eat me. Nevertheless, although it is inviting death, Todd goes on mocking. The talking of materialistic men and impersonalistic Mayavadi philosophers may be compared to a croaking of frogs. They are always speaking nonsense and thus inviting death to catch them. Controlling speech, however, does not mean self-imposed silence. The external process of Mauna, as Mayavadi philosophers think, silence may appear helpful for some times, but ultimately, it proves a failure. The meaning of controlled speech conveyed by Srila Rupa Goswami advocates the positive process of Krishna Katha, engaging the speaking process in glorifying the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. The tongue can thus glorify the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. The preacher of Krishna Katha is always beyond the clutches of death. This is the significance of controlling the urge to speak. The restless or fickleness of the mind, manovega, is controlled when one can fix his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. The Chaitanya Charitamrut, Matthya 22:31 says, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Adhankara Andhakara यहाँ न कृष्णा तहाँ नाही, मा, Mayara Adhikara. Krishna is just like a sun, and Maya is just like a darkness. If the sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Similarly, if Krishna is present in the mind, there is no possibility of the minds being agitated by Maya's influence. The yogic process of negating all materialistic thoughts will not help. To try to create a vacuum in the mind is artificial. The vacuum will not remain. However, if one always thinks of Krishna and how to serve Krishna best, one's mind will naturally be controlled. Similarly, anger can be controlled. We cannot stop anger altogether. But if we simply become angry with those who blaspheme the Lord or the devotees of the Lord, we control our anger in the Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry with the miscreant brothers Jagai and Madai, who blasphemed and struck Nityananda Prabhu. In his Shiksha, Shikshataka, Shikshataka, Lord Chaitanya wrote, Trinada api sunesena, taror api sahishnuna. One should be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than the tree. One may then ask why the Lord exhibits his anger. The point is that one should be ready to tolerate all insults to one's own self, but when Krishna or his pure devotee is blasphemed, a genuine devotee becomes angry and act like fire against the offenders. Krodha, anger, cannot be stopped, but it can be applied rightly. It was in an, it was in anger that hum,
Hanuman.
it was in anger that Hanuman set fire to Lanka, but he is worshipped as the greatest devotee of Lord Ramachandra. This means that he utilized his anger in the right way. Arjuna serves as another example. He was not willing to fight, but Krishna in, incited his anger. You must fight. To fight without anger is not possible. Anger is controlled, however, when utilized in a service of the Lord. As for the urge of the tongue, we all experience that the tongue want to eat palatable dishes. Generally, we should not allow the tongue to eat according to its choice, but should control the tongue by supplying prasada. The devotee's attitude is that he will eat only when Krishna gives him prasada. That is the way to control the urge of the tongue. One should take prasada at scheduled time and should not eat in restaurants or sweetmeat shop simply to satisfy the whims of the tongue or belly. If we stuck, if we stick to the principle of taking only prasada, the urge of belly and tongue can be controlled. In a similar manner, the urge of genitals, the sex impulse can be controlled when not used unnecessarily. The genitals should be used to beget the Krishna conscious child. However, they should not be used. The Krishna consciousness movement encourage marriage not for the satisfaction of genitals, but for the begetting of Krishna consciousness children. As soon as children are a little grown up, they are sent to our Gurukul school, where they are trained to become fully Krishna consciousness devotee. Many such Krishna conscious children are required, and one who is capable of bringing forth Krishna conscious up- offspring is allowed to utilize his genitals. When one is fully practiced in the method of Krishna conscious control, he can become qualified to be a bona fide spiritual master. In his Anurvriti explanation of Upadeshamrita, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur writes that our material identification creates three kinds of urge. The urge to speak, the urge or demand of the mind and demands of the body. When a living entity falls victim to those three types of urge, his life becomes inauspicious. One who practices resisting these demands or urge is called tapasvi, or one who practices austerities. By such tapasya, one can overcome victimization by the material energy, the eternal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we refer to the urge to speak, we refer to useless talking, such as that of the impersonal Mayavadi philosophers, or of a person engaging in a fruity, fruit, fruitive activities, technically called karmakanda, or materialistic people who simply want to enjoy life without restriction. All such talks or literatures are practical exhibitions of the urge to speak. Many people are talking nonsense and writing volumes of useless books, and all this is result of the urge to speak. To co- counteract that tendency, we have to divert our talking to the subject of Krishna. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5, 10, 11. नयद नयद वास वस वक- व- वकश्चित्रा पदम हरेर यशो जगत्पवित्रा जगत्पवित्रां प्राग्रन्थिता परहिचित तद्वयासं तीर्थम् उसन्ति मनसा न यत्र हंसा निर्माय न यत्र हंसा निर्मान्त्या उस्सिक्कसायत्यः. Those words which do not describe the glories of Lord, who alone can satisfy the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly person to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for cows. Since the all perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not drive any pleasure there. Tadvag Tadvagavisariko Janatan Gha Viplavo Yasmin Prati Slokam Abdadhaya Abadha Vatya Api Nama Namanya Anantasya Yaso Nikitanti Yat Sar यत्सर्ना यत्सर्वान्ति गायान्ति गृह्णान्ति सद्भावः. One, on the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of transcendental glories of the name, fame, homes, and pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation. Full of transcendental words is directed towards the bringing about a renovation in the pious lives of the world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. The conclusion is that only when we talk about devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can we refrain from unless uh, can we refrain from useless, nonsensical talk? We should always endeavor to use our speaking power solely for the purpose of realizing Krishna consciousness. As for the agitation of the
Anybody else want to talk? Sorry, not talk. Read. Or it's okay, Chinmay continues.
I can read Prabhuji.
Yeah, please. Thank you, Chinmay.
Hare Krishna. As for the agitations of the flickering mind, they are divided in two divisions. The first is called Avirodha Priti, or the unrestricted attachment, and the other is called Virodha Yukta Krodha, anger arising from frustration. Adherence to the philosophy of the Mayavadis, belief is the fruitive results of the Karmvadis, and belief in the plans based on the materialistic desires are called Avirodha Priti. Gyanis, karmis, and materialistic plan makers generally attract the attention of the conditioned soul, but when the materialists cannot fulfill their plans, and when their devices are frustrated, they become angry. Frustration of the material desires produce anger. Similarly, the demands of the body can be divided into three categories: the demand of the tongue, the belly, and the genitals. One may observe that these three senses are physically situated in a straight line as far as the body is concerned, and that the bodily demands begin with the tongue. If one can restrain the demands of the tongue by limiting the activities of to eating the prasada, the urges of the belly and the genitals can automatically be controlled. In this connection, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, शरीर अविद्या जला जनांद्रिया ताहे काला जीवे फेले विषासागरे तारा मादे जीवाति लोभ माया सुदुर्मति ताके जेता कथि ना संसारे कृष्णा बड़ो दयामय करी बारे जीवा जय सब प्रसाद अन्न दिला भाई सही अन्न अमृत खाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेम दाके चैतन्य निताई. O Lord, this material body is a lump of ignorance, and the senses are a network of path leading to the death. Somehow or other, we have fallen into the ocean of the material sense enjoyment, and of all the senses, the tongue is the most voracious and uncontrollable. It is very difficult to conquer the tongue in the world, but you, dear Krishna, are very kind to us. You have sent this nice prasada to help us conquer the tongue. Therefore, let us take this prasada to full our satisfaction and glorify your lordships, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, and in love call for the help of the Lord Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityanand. The six kind of rasas taste, and if one is agitated by one of them, he becomes controlled by the urges of the tongue. Some persons are attracted by eating of the meat, fish, crab, eggs, and other things produced by the semen and the blood and eaten in the form of the dead bodies. Others are attracted by eating vegetables, creepers, spinach, and or milk products, but all are for satisfaction of the tongue demands. Such eating for the sense gratification, including the use of the extra quantities of spicy like chili and tamarind, is to be given up by the Krishna conscious persons. The use of the pan, harik, haritaki, betel nuts, various spices used in the pan cooking, tobacco, LSD, marijuana, opium, liquor, coffee, and tea is indulged into the fulfill illicit demands. If we can practice accepting only the remnants of the food offered to the Krishna, it is possible to get free from Maya's victimization. Vegetables, grains, fruits, milk products, and water are proper foods to offer to the Lord, as Lord Himself prescribes. However, if one accepts prasada only because of its palatable taste and thus eats too much, he also falls prey to trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us to avoid very palatable dishes even while eating prasada. If we offer palatable dishes to the deity with the intention of eating such nice food, we are involved in trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. If we accept the invitation of the rich man with the idea of receiving palatable food, we are also trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. In Chaitanya Amrit Antya 6.2 to 7, it is stated, जीवहार लाल से ये येति उति धया शिशुनोदरा paranaya Krishna nahi paya. That person who runs here and there seeking to clarify his palate and who is always attached to the desires of his stomach and genitals is unable to attain Krishna. As stated before, the tongue, belly, and the genitals are all situated in a straight line, and they all fall in the same category. Lord Chaitanya has said, Bhala na khaibe arab, bhala na paribe. Do not dress luxuriously and do not eat delicious foodstuffs. Chaitanya Amrit, Charanamrit, Ante 6.236. Those who suffer from the disease of the stomach must be unable to control the urges of the belly, at least according to this analysis. When we desire to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in the life. However, if we observe the fasting days like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, we can restrict the demands of the belly. As far as the urges of the genitals are concerned, there are two: proper and improper, or illegal and the illicit sex. When a man is properly mature, he can marry according to the rules and regulation of the Shastras and use his genitals for the begetting nice children. That is legal and religious. Otherwise, he may adopt many artificial means to satisfy the demands of the genitals, and he may not use any restraint. When one indulges in the illicit sex life as defined by the Shastras, either by thinking, planning, talking about, or actually having sexual intercourse, or by satisfying the genitals by artificial means, he is caught in the clutches of the Maya. These instructions apply not only to the householders but also to the Tyagis, or those who are in renounced order of life. In his book Prema Vivarta, chapter 7, Sri Jagananda Pandit says, वैरागी भाई ग्रमया कथा नय सुनी भी काने ग्रमया व्रता ना काही बे या बे मिली बे आने स्वपाने ओ न करा भाई स्थिति संभाषणा गृहे स्त्री चढ़िय भाई असिचवाना यदि चाह यदि चाह प्राणाय रखिते गौरांगय साने छोटा हरिदास तेरा कथा था के ये ना माने भला ना कहिबे आरा भला ना परिबे हृदयते राधा कृष्ण सर्वदा सेविबे. My dear brother, you are in the renounced order of the life and should not listen to talk about ordinary worldly things. Nor should you accept the worldly things when you meet with others. Do not think of the woman even in the dreams. You have accepted the renounced order of the life with a vow that forbids you to associate with the woman. If you wish to associate with the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you must always remember the incident of the Chota Haridasa and how he was rejected by the Lord. Do not eat luxurious dishes or dress in the fine fragments, but always remain humble and serve their lordships, Shri Shri Radha Krishna in your hearts of heart. The conclusion is that one who controls these six items, speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, is to be called a Swami or a Goswami. Swami means master, and Goswami means Swami. The Go means master of the Go or senses. When one accepts the renounced order of the life, he automatically assumes the title of Swami. This does not mean that he is a master of his family, community, or the society. He must be a master of his senses. Unless one is master in his his senses, he should not be called Goswami or the Godasa, servant of the senses. Following in the footsteps of the six Goswamis on the Vrindavan, all Swamis and the Goswamis should be fully engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As opposed to this, the Godasas engage in the service of their senses or in the service of the material world. They have no other engagement. Prahlad Maharaj has further described the Godasa or Adanta Go, which refers to the one whose senses are not controlled. An Adanta Go cannot become a servant of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.30, Prahlad Maharaj has said, Materna Krishna Prata Svatova Mitho Bhipadeyate Griha Vritanam Adanta Gobhir Vishtastam Tamisaram Punaha Punasa Charvita Charvanam. For those who have decided to continue their existence in the material world for the gratification of their senses, there is no chance of becoming Krishna consciousness, not by personal endeavor, by instruction from others, or by the joint conferences. They are dragged by the unbridled senses into the darkest region of the ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the chewed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-Salakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं। So we'll discuss little bit together. It's not that I will only speak. We all can speak, share their experiences, which is very important because we all face different situations, right? So my situation is different, your situation is different. So right in this purport, Srila Prabhupada says hearing, intelligent person by hearing he will change his life. So we want to be intelligent. So that's why we have to share our experiences. And so we can learn quickly without wasting time to see or to experience. We don't have that much time. So thank you very much for, first is thank you very much for joining and arranging this discussion in the morning, Saturday morning. When, yes, Saturday morning generally we say is the time when our relaxation starts, right? Because it's a weekend and then somehow we want to relax, but we don't know what to do to relax. Okay. Generally people sleep, eat, do something to relax. But there is a, when Srila Prabhupada used to preach, right? He used to preach from morning to night, and full night he used to translate also, right? So he used to sleep 2-3 hours in the night. So when Srila Prabhupada is very tired, or for example, the Goswamis or the devotees, they are very tired. What they do? Anybody had this question? Okay, what is the relaxment of the great devotees? How they relax? So their relaxation is like Srila Prabhupada will ask somebody to read the Krishna book. He will say, I'm very tired. Somebody read the Krishna book, this chapter. And Srila Prabhupada will hear. We can see Srila Prabhupada disciples also are similar. When they are tired throughout the day preaching, giving classes, doing Harinam, in the evening, if they feel tired, what they do? They read Srila Prabhupada's book or they hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures. So that is relaxation of the devotees. I will be honest, I am not at that stage that where I will be relaxing like this. I want to, I had that intention, but still not that level. So slowly, we want to go to that level when just hearing about Krishna or reading about Krishna, we feel relaxed. We feel relieved. What is relaxation? It is actually relieving from our bodily pain, mental pains, thoughts. That is actually relaxation. That is what, if you analyze all the process of getting mentally peaceful or relaxing the body, is that you come out of your regular urges, what here Vegam is said, right? So that is relaxation. So we want to do that. So how can this be done and how to achieve that is what Srila Rupa Goswami is teaching us. How you can go to that state. So we can see Srila Prabhupada and his disciples and devotees, they apply these teachings in their life and they automatically become like that. So the problem is not the teaching. Sometimes devotees say, oh, I'm chanting for 40 years, I'm chanting for 50 years, I'm reading books, I'm hearing the classes, everything I'm doing, but no change. Is it really working? So it works. Everything works. Srila Prabhupada books work, his lectures work, association works, everything works if you are in proper consciousness or your intentions are correct. So why this determination and this ichha, what we say, deep, intense desire does not arise in us or in everybody? Because everybody has different type of faith. uh, they have Shraddha, but it's not so strong. So if your faith is weak, then these words and these sentences and these books will make sense, but you are not sure, is it really working? But devotees continue like this. So Srila Prabhupada has said, and his disciples also, many disciples have said, whatever happens, once you join Krishna consciousness, don't give it up. Even if there is no rasa or no enjoyment while chanting, you feel chanting is boring, chanting is difficult, I'm not understanding what I am doing. Whatever happens, don't give it up. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada has said, just continue this process, yeah, and one day Krishna will reveal you how to do that. So we have to continue. We may fail. So these urges that Goswami is telling us, these are the temporary failures that we face. So if we see there are 6, right? So we have to somehow be there till the end of our life. Something will happen. So in bhakti, we remember one thing always. In whatever state of consciousness or devotional life you are, always remember this, that of course your endeavors are important, but mercy of Krishna and his devotees is what delivers us. Okay, so we should not be very dependent on our own efforts, but we have to do 100% efforts. Like we get up in the morning today and read, discuss. That is our effort. So we have to keep doing this, and the mercy will come. Mercy is there, just that we are not qualified. So we have to make ourselves qualified. How to do that? This is what this book tells to us. So yesterday I came from office little like 7, around 7. Then I had 2, 3 meetings till late night, 10 o'clock. Till that time I was in meetings, and in between I was seeing this verse. And then I was thinking that, oh, tomorrow 7 o'clock I have to get up and we have to discuss. Right. So I was thinking, oh, so generally I sleep till 6:30 on holidays, just to drain out things. Sometimes more sleep is rest is required. It's required is required. And but yesterday night I thought, okay, it's good that tomorrow morning we are going to discuss something that Rupa Goswami has written, so that will open the eyes and will give good consciousness. Right? So, and then what happened, like, because I was very tired, right? I told what Srila Prabhupada and everybody used to do. Why I told? Because when I am tired very much, what I will do. I was thinking now. It's not compulsory that I will read the books. Many times I will see the YouTube videos and reels and cricket match. Yesterday was cricket match, so I was checking score because I have interest in that, right? What's happening. So we have some interest, we have some attractions. So those are there, and we are not able to give it up. Don't do it artificially. There is one statement here in the purport Srila Prabhupada writes, we don't want to become artificial renouncers or artificially doing the things. It should come naturally. Of course, sometimes artificially things are required. Okay. So one devotee asked me, Prabhuji, I feel very tired to come to temple also. Sometimes I'm so much tired that I don't want to go just because the travel and all. So I said, yeah, that's true. But just think, if you don't go to temple or whatever practice you are regularly doing, what else you will do, and if that is beneficial or not. So even if you don't feel to come, come. Sit here, uh, come, because that artificially coming to temple is also useful. Artificial, even if you are tired, you are not able to focus, still chanting is helpful because chanting itself has the power. It's not our power, right? So we have to depend on the mercy of devotees and Hare Krishna mantra and Krishna, right? So that is one of the things that this book will teach us how to do this, how to become determined to do this. So there are 6 urges, right? So that Vacho Vegam. So first is Srila Prabhupada very clearly speaks, like it tells us how to control the speech or urge to speak, right? So uh, everybody of us, we are professionally working or we are dealing in this world with the words by talking. And everybody likes to talk. And why we want to talk? Because we want to express our expertise or our knowledge or our something which we are very good at. We want to do that. Or there is talk of some political thing. We want to talk. So urge to speech is there. Here, Srila Prabhupada in one place, Srila Prabhupada uses the word mauna. Yeah, so there are many sages who practice mauna. They don't speak. So that is one way of controlling, but that is, uh, Srila Prabhupada says, it's also a way of artificially doing this, mauna, keeping quiet. But keeping quiet also helps. Like if, like there are many retreats like Vipassana and all, where you don't speak. We will only understand how much power we can save if we are speaking less, or if we are like in the purpose Srila Prabhupada says, we are speaking only related to Krishna consciousness or devotees of Krishna. Of course, when devotees of Krishna, don't, not about the bad things, good things about, not criticizing anybody. But even if you are criticizing the devotees, gossiping, if that content is related to Krishna and devotees, it is still may be helpful. Of course, criticizing mentality is not good, but at least you do talk about devotees and Krishna. That is a useful talk because engage in a proper way. The concept here, Srila Prabhupada and Rupa Goswami wants us to learn is all these urges or ichhas, engage them in a proper way. So they are not saying to stop it. Krishna didn't say stop everything. He didn't tell Arjuna stop fighting or stop thinking, stop asking questions. No, Arjuna was continuously asking questions, his doubts, and Krishna was answering. So those questions were coming in mind. So he was asking questions. So Krishna never asked him to stop, but he always encouraged him to engage in a proper way. And so whatever our strength is there, we should try to engage in proper way. So here the example of Hanuman is the word to engage the anger. So several examples are there where the devotees use their expertise. Somebody is good in singing, they use it singing bhajans, kirtans. It's engaging your energy while dancing. You want to dance, so dance in kirtan, rather than dancing in some party or something. Dance in kirtan on Hare Krishna Mahamantra while chanting, while bhajans. You engage your energy. So it's a proper way. So similarly, mind, here the mind example is also given, manasa vegam. So mind and krodha, it's work together. Vacho vegam is speech, what we speak, how we speak. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also says how your speech should be when you talk. It should be very pleasing to the next person. It should not agitate the other person. It should not frustrate the other person. So that is the austerity of speech, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Right? So, how you talk, what you talk, when you talk, uh, about what you talk, very important. When you talk is also very important. I experienced this that many times when we are in a group or in a discussion, uh, it's not necessary to give the comments or talk, but we want to talk. So sometimes some situations are there like where if you talk, the situation can become more bad. That time you have to keep silence. So when to talk, how much to talk, very important. So all these practices you have to do. What is practice? Do you repeatedly do it? Right? So we have to repeatedly practice this. So same words repeatedly and practice. So that is emphasizing the continuity of doing something. So Vachovegam will not come in one day. It will take practice. I don't know, like it's already 8 o'clock, right? So we discussed like 7 to 8, right? So we can continue this verse because this is the beginning, but this is the most important way of starting our Krishna consciousness practice, right? So now we can 10, 5, 10 minutes, everybody can share their experiences and their thoughts and discuss. And maybe next week we will continue to talk about a little bit more about the other uh, urges, right? Today we mostly talk about speech. So I should stop my speech or talk, and others can please share what they feel about speech and talking mentality or urge. Any experience, anything is fine. Now it's open forum. You can ask question, you can ask doubt, share what you feel now. Anything is okay. What happened? But he has urge to speak now. Thinking.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I would like to share one thing.
Yeah, please.
Where we put ourselves, the way we talk, I mean, the association, where if we are with the people who like the politics or cinema or whatever it is, the kids talk. So we make our talk based on that. So if we are in with the devotee association, of course, we talk about the seva. Of course, we can talk about Krishna mainly. So we can have devotee association is important, and because that helps us to know from them also whatever we know we can share also. Unnecessary talk even within family also unnecessary talk creates the fighting also, so avoiding that's called urge of speak unnecessarily something whatever comes in the mind. Talking is not correct. Material way of talking also we have to think and talk. Will it hurt the person? It may hurt the other person or not. Once we can think and talk in material stuff also. The best thing I feel that having devotee association is good to know about Krishna and talk about Krishna. That way also we can avoid the sin also. For example, by sin may happen by talk also, by offense like a Vaishnava offenses, that is true. By thinking about others bad also it's good. It is offense, so it's not good. So talking about Krishna is the best way to use our speak. Uh, I mean, the best thing I want to have devotee association. That's
Yeah,
what I'm understanding to avoid the unnecessary talk.
yeah. Very good point, Mataji. If we are with devotees, we may talk about other things, but intention is to be with somebody who is trying to serve Krishna. So that itself gives the good intention, and then talk may be related to that only. Yeah, so while associating also we have to be very careful. Uh, the six Goswamis, when they were in Vrindavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent them all to Vrindavan. And most of the time they used to be together, talking about Krishna, discussing about Krishna, different Shastra. They used to together, they used to associate with each other. Of course, Vrindavan, everybody is devotee, but still they used to associate with each other most of the time. So they choose very wisely with whom you should associate. Because Kali Yuga, Srimad Bhagavatam says, 12th canto, that in Satyuga, demons were not there. In the Dwapar Yuga or Treta Yuga, the demons were visible. From their appearance, we can understand, like in Krishna Lila, we can see the demons. They were not immediately looking like likewise. So Putana came as a beautiful maid. Many of the demons, they were disguised in some other form, very beautiful form. So what does it indicate? That Treta Yuga, at least the demons were used to look like demons. Right? In Ramayana, we can see many demons. They look like demons. They disguised. Who disguised? Ravana disguised as, say, deer. So demons were not visible, or we cannot see them that this is a demon sometimes. So in Kali Yuga, we cannot understand who is demon because everybody looks same. And very well dressed and very well good talks, everything good. Demons are like not that they will be talking roughly. No, they will be very sweet talkers, very well behaved. But the mentality is demonic mentality, right? So it's very. So in the form of bhakti, when you do bhakti, also we need to be very careful. With associating with devotees, also we have to be very careful. We have to be uh, intelligent enough to understand what this particular devotee's intentions are, what he's trying to do. Uh, so your intelligence and consciousness should be alert every time. So who you associate with, very important. Because we take that mentality immediately. So we have to, don't, Krishna says, if you read Bhagavad Gita, you are worshipping me by intelligence. So he's giving so much importance to the intelligence. Srila Prabhupada says, use your intelligence in doing the bhakti also. When associating with devotees, use your intelligence. What I'm doing, with whom I'm associating, what this devotee whom I'm associating with, what is his intentions, what are his inner feelings, how he talk, how he walk, what he speak, very important. So you use your intelligence in association also. So there will be Mishra Bhaktas, there will be materialistic Bhaktas, there will be devotees who will have their own intentions to fulfill always. It's there, it's nothing wrong. But what do you want to do? Do you want to do pure bhakti? Pure bhakti, if a pure bhakti like Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu, Rupa Goswami says, it's very rare. It's very rare means out of thousands and millions of people, only one will be trying to practice pure bhakti. Why that statement is there? So even if devotees, not everybody is trying to do the pure bhakti. Of course, they are doing bhakti, sadhana bhakti, but they may have different intentions also. So please use your mind and intelligence. If I'm associating properly with proper person, with proper devotee, with proper intention, what I'm getting from that association, am I getting positive vibes or positive inner feelings? You have to observe it. So that's why association also important. Of course, associating with somebody else other than devotee and associating with a Karma Mishra or Mishra Bhakta devotee is Mishra Bhakta devotee association is always better and good. Yeah. But if you want to progress quickly, this book is important and it is teaching us. You cannot do whatever you want to do. No, that's not the way. You have to be very careful. Thank you, Mataji. Any other points?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class and the opportunity, Prabhuji. The one phrase that came to my mind is developing higher taste. Like always, this phrase that we always hear, develop a higher taste. So if you want to express about Krishna. If you want to read about Krishna. Like, don't talk unnecessarily. Like, whatever is not needed, we don't have to do that. So the one phrase that came to my mind whenever you said something like how Prabhupada used to listen to Krishna book, it's like developing higher taste. We always have the choice to pick from YouTube videos, or even in YouTube we can go listen to some lecture. So like that is like what I'm taking away from today's class. Like, we have to develop higher taste to progress.
Yes, your points are always, Mataji, both of you put very crucial points, right? So, developing higher taste is the higher consciousness, right? If you are in higher consciousness, only you can develop a higher taste. Actually, what is taste, right? In bhakti, many times devotees they say, okay, higher taste, okay. Sometimes I also think, do I have taste for chanting? Do I have mood of chanting? How every day I'm listening, but do I have that? Right. So the best showme proof is we are discussing today Saturday morning about Krishna. So I have that test. That's why I'm sitting here and talking. Otherwise, I will sleep, right? Or otherwise, I will say no, I cannot. So I have something that is better. That is a test for listening Krishna Katha or listening what acharyas have to teach us. So we have test, but we still have to develop higher test. That comes from higher level association, devotees who are practicing pure bhakti, devotees who are teaching by their example, the higher test comes. Devotees, we can speak because vacho vegam, urge to speak is very difficult to control. We can speak so many things, but if we cannot apply that, there is a problem, right? So one lecture I was listening that Maharaj said, giving lecture is easy. Sometimes it is difficult. Why? Because when you are requested to speak, you want to speak, then many times preacher, when he speaks what he's doing or what he's trying to do. He's sharing our experiences. That is best preaching. Intelligent preaching, intellectual lectures, of course, very good, because that also has the deep experience of all these applications of processes. So, listening important, more important. 2 ears, one mouth. 2 ears because we want to listen more. Uh, that is one way of controlling the speech and getting the higher taste. Listen more. Right. So Mataji said we can listen to class on YouTube. That's a higher taste. Sometimes you will be in that consciousness. Sometimes you will feel if you are scrolling the reels, there will be in the reels, there maybe by accident Srila Prabhupada's reel will come. So sometimes we'll say, oh, I was watching some movie clips or something. How come this Srila Prabhupada clip came in between that? Right. So that is a reminder, boss. You are using the phone for some different purpose. Right. So if you look at that Srila Prabhupada's clip and hear it, you will understand, oh, why this clip came in between all these other reels. So there are always pointers that help us. So we have to choose them. Right? Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very insightful, Prabhuji.
Thank you always. Any other points? This Chinmay, Anmol, what do you think?
I have an experience to share.
Yeah, please.
I am Chinmay Prabhu.
Yeah.
Like last year when we joined like Mandir, ISKCON Mandir.
Uh-huh.
So we were new to this path. So basically, our full Monday to Saturday was with our friends, and the guys over usually talk about the girls, alcohol, sex, and all these things. Our Monday to Friday was centered around this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to our Mandir. So we come to like check it out, like how the people are like worshipping in Japan. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess we came and we feel the peaceness there, and then we stay connected. But we were like elephants only. Monday to Friday, we were with the friends, we were talking shit, and this again Sunday it came, and Mandir was just a temporary thing. Like it was like soothing experience. So we coming, so it was like bad experience, good experience, bad experience, good experience. And sometimes we were also not serious, so we tried to skip Mandir also. Like let's go for club or some party. So at Saturday night, so on Sunday we'll skip that. And and when we wake up, it's always like something is missing in our life.
Okay. Yeah.
So then we thought like I think we were going on the wrong track. Let's go to that side. So we try to regularly come to Mandir, chant Hare Krishna, and I guess we are in like river of Krishna and feeling good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. This is not your case. This is my case also. I work 5 days. I am working. Right. So we face so much different vibrations or vibes that the world is vibes. Right? Though that we get in our professional career, very difficult. But if the one way which helps us, right, if you chant daily, so we have to chant 16 rounds. I have to chant 16 rounds daily. So I have to spend a couple of hours some way, somewhere, somehow. I have to do that on the train or get up early, whatever. So that's why the regular practice very important. How to control the mind by practice. Right. So yeah, so this discussion itself will be helpful, right? Anmol, what Anmol you said. Yeah, this a way of experiencing the test is this. Like you and Chinmay, if you thought, okay, we are feeling something missing, right? So that was the test that was missing. So you may go to party, you may talk about girls or other things, but the test will not be there. What is the test there? You don't enjoy that. You enjoy that for temporary talking and okay, okay, laughing, okay, okay. But in inner, there is no inner feeling. That's why that is something missing feeling comes. So then you understood, good, you both understood, and then you took corrective action. Right? Generally, it takes years. Years are passed to understand what is missing. Okay. So you are very lucky and intelligent that you understood what is missing. Right. So yeah, one thing is, of course, going to temple helps because that consciousness is reset, right? So sometimes if you are not good, you are not well, or you have work, or you are very busy, it becomes difficult to go. If your body is very tired, difficult to go. But yeah, then also it is okay. You do whatever you do at home. So austerity is good, but not at compromise of your health. Right. So sometimes it happens. So we should not feel discouraged. Oh, of course, that feeling of guilt is good because I feel guilty, I didn't go. That is good. So uh, I can tell another story about this next week. Okay. How that is important. Any other points? Thanks, Anwar. Any other sharing? बोलायचं होतं?
अटोनमेंट बद्दल जरा थोडस अजून डिस्कशन झाला होईल का अजून अटोनमेंट
So she's saying, can we discuss more about atonement? Because the first shloka, first purpose, the beginning is on atonement. Yeah, so atonement or prayashchitta. Doing prayashchitta for what wrong things you have done. In simple words, I am saying. You do something wrong, you correct it by atonement. So you something, I fight with Bhagesri or I fight with Chinmay or anybody, and I will go and say sorry. Saying sorry is also a prayashchitta, a way of doing prayashchitta. But it has to come from your heart, then it is more useful. Yeah, so atonement here, Parikshit Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada writes, right? So, what is the use of this atonement if you do the same thing again and again? He's given the example of thief. We know everything, but still we do. So, that example is not only about stealing or anything. For us also, uh, we know, for my case also, okay, I'm saying until including me, I also know that this thing is wrong. I'm not supposed to do this thing. I should not do this thing. I should avoid this thing. This is no way useful for my bhakti or my career. I know, but still I do. But still I do it. Why? So Arjuna also asked these questions. We know this is wrong, but we should not do it, but we do. So this Krishna tells that it is lust, right, or strong desires, attachments that we have from the past experiences that makes us to do that. The samskars from the old lifetimes that make us to do those things, even if we don't want to do. It's the lust, Krishna says. All the reason, everything for we do without our own consent. When I say own consent, that is intelligence. Intelligence is telling you, don't do this, this is wrong. But still you do it because mind overpowers the intelligence. And why mind overpowers the intelligence? Because mind has previous impressions that if I do like this, I feel good. If I do like this, I enjoyed it somehow or other. So mind has impressions. So mind overpowers the intelligence is telling don't do, don't do. Mind does not listen. It will do what it wants to do. Right? So that's why next week we will discuss Manasa Vegam, right? My mind, why mind is so important. Because it overpowers. It's an 11th sense. Right? It overpowers everything, king of senses. So that is one of the reason. But if we want to do the atonement in Bhagavatam for Grihastha Ashram, there are atonements given. So now when I'm speaking or we all are breathing, so many insects go in our with the air. They get killed. So we are doing prayashchitta. We are doing some mistakes every moment. So what is the method of doing the counteracting is prayashchitta or atonement. So there are different yajnas that we have to do. You have to go to different places and do different austerities. That is one way of doing the prayashchitta or atonements. But that is not possible now. So best way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is told, Srila Prabhupada has told that you make mistakes, you break hearts, you speak hard words, you still chant. But Srila Prabhupada also gives a precaution, warning. Because I am chanting, don't keep on doing the wrong things. That chanting is offensive. It will not give the effect that is required. So, what is proper atonement? So, the atonement comes from the feeling. Are you really feeling to change? To change your attitude, to change your actions. And from there, the atonement will be giving some good results. Of course, the prayashchitta or the mistakes that we have done, it's not always forgivable or it cannot be always nullified because the harm that you have created is maybe more. If I say something which is not beneficial for the other person or hurting, I will hurt somebody in a way that it will take years for that person to come out that hurt. So even if I feel that I have done a wrong thing, I go and tell that person, was sorry. I said so and so things. My intention was not that. But somehow in anger, I said this. Don't take it seriously. Just forget it, what I have said. It was not, I have, maybe forgive me, I'm sorry. We may say 10 times. But if that person is hurt, he is hurt. He will take his own time to come out of that situation. So all these depressions and negative energies and feeling down is coming from there. Somehow our mind makes us feel that we are in a big trouble. We cannot come out. Or we take it too seriously. The life, somebody said, right, don't take life seriously. Srila Prabhupada also said this, don't take life seriously, take bhakti seriously. Because life, there will be problems, there will be situations beyond our control, most of the situation. So don't take it seriously. People will do many things that cannot be digested. So we have to be very, how we look at it. But if I hurt somebody, okay, then I have to, from my heart, I have to feel that I really hurted somebody that should not have done. And from there, if you say that, okay, now here onwards, I will not do this thing, or at least I will not try to do this thing. Generally, nowadays, we don't hurt people by slapping or fighting, or we hurt by words. So, Vacho Vegam, one is that we hurt. And if we hurt by words, that is unrecoverable in many cases, situations. People will never forgive you. And it's not in this life. This carries forward to the next life also. That this person hurted me so badly that I take that image to the next life also. So we both are engaged. Person whom I hurt and I. We both engaged in that reaction that I hurt him. He's not forgiving me. He dies suddenly, so he takes it to the other life. So I have to go with him, right? To fulfill that, to nullify that. So this is how karma works. So it's very so Vacho Vegam is important. What you speak, how much you speak. You can scold somebody, but how much you scold is also important. Right? So atonement, one is, of course, first step is feel it from your heart that you have done a mistake and you really want to correct it. Why I'm saying from heart? Because there can be many cases where we say sorry from exterior only, not internally feeling it. Of course, externally also is okay to say sorry because there is one way of accepting our mistake. So that is also good. That is the beginning. But from the heart, you should feel that yes, I'm doing a thing that is actually hurting somebody and hurting myself also. When you hurt somebody, you hurt yourself also, basically. That is very important to understand in the process of atonement. Sorry is one way, but if I say something, if I do something that hurts somebody, I am also involved in that. Though I say sorry and I think I have done my part, no, that remains in your heart, in your mind. It will not go so easily because you know you have done the mistake. And nobody is happy or he knows when he has done the mistake. So that feeling will come from inside. So you have to acknowledge that feeling. Yes, I know I have done the wrong thing. And when you really, from your heart, accept it, the next person will feel it. There is one movie, Hrithik Roshan and that movie, three friends going on a trip.
ये जवानी है दीवानी.
Yeah, which?
नहीं, जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा.
ये जिंदगी में मिलेगी
हाँ, ये जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा or something, right? In that, the two friends have fight, right? So
Yeah.
one friend says sorry many times, but the next person will not accept. On particular situation, he says from his heart that I am sorry, I did wrong thing. So the next person understands. So that is the connection. When we say super soul is there, right? The other person will understand when you are saying from your heart. So that type of realization is one way of atonement, that you understand how you are hurting the next person. Many times devotees say, oh, I did something wrong, but I was very angry. don't take it seriously. No, but the thing is done is done. If you say wrong, it's wrong. Even if you are angry, it will hurt the next person. So that is not an excuse. So the way of atonement in such case may be very different. You have to, what is atonement? Actually, prashchitta we do to ourselves. So that is, you come out of your comfort zone and do the thing that becomes a prashchitta. So rishis, you sages used to go and do tapasya for 60,000 years, 10,000 years, whatever. That is one way of atonement. Or do some yajna. But now, internally accepting our mistake and acknowledging it internally and trying to improve yourself is attainment. So if a thief may know he's doing wrong, but because of his old practices, he's still doing. So again, he will be in jail. Again, he comes out, again, he does the mistake. Again, he goes to jail. So by this repeated thing, somewhere at certain point, he will think what I am actually doing. I'm going out and coming back to jail again and again. I'm doing the same thing last 40 years. Somewhere he will come. So one way of learning is this: do the mistake and learn, do the mistake and learn. I personally feel that though it is difficult, we should not spend time or waste time in that. Always saying the same thing. Oh, I was angry, so I did. Oh, I don't know the reality, so I did. Oh, I didn't think so deep. That's why I said like this. So this can be excuses for some time, some years. But real atonement is you are learn from your mistakes and change yourself. Yeah. What?
Jagai Mother is the example and
English?
when discuss
Yeah, we can discuss Jagai Mother's example is there.
Mr. Sorry Man's you have to take some actions.
Yeah.
So I'd like to discuss that.
Yeah, we can discuss next class. Jagai Mother's example of how they did the atonement. Of course, from heart they did, but they also did some physical actions, which shows their atonement because you have to go through physically doing something. So that also is a austerity of body that you are going through. That I did a mistake, so I will do this thing. Whatever. We can talk about Jagai Mata example next week. How they did the atonement.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, if you don't mind, also there was the two types of anger that Prabhupada had described. Can you explain more on that also, Prabhuji?
Yeah, so when we go to Krodha, right? Mind
Yes,
and
Prabhuji.
Krodha, we will discuss that also.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Also, Prabhuji, I have a doubt. The
Yeah.
atonement is for mistake or crime.
Mm-hmm.
So atonement is the pashatap. The pashatap is that is done unknowingly. But Jagai Madai were knowingly doing bad things. So they were getting punishment now.
Yes.
That was my point ना की atonement म्हणजे root cause destroy करण्यासाठी काय केलं पाहिजे ना we have to
Yeah,
not
so we
just
can discuss this because
skin and root.
see these roots. This question came to Arjuna. I know I should not do this, but still I do. Why? Right. So if Arjuna living with Krishna has this question, it's very natural that we will have these questions. Why I do like this? Because the seed is there. And how to uproot that seed, we can discuss. Okay. The basis of doing wrong thing is lust,
Root cause
of attachment, or ego. How all these things are involved when we do some action, right? From that, we can discuss this more little bit detail next week because we all have this problem and we have to somehow or other come out of it. But like Srila Prabhupada says, yes, intellectually we should know, we should practice all these things, but don't take it seriously. What you have to take seriously? Srila Prabhupada said, don't take life seriously, take your bhakti seriously, take your practice seriously. So he said, okay, mistakes, everything will keep happening. People will keep bothering you. You will bother people. Fine. Try to improve those things. Try to reduce those things. But keep your main goal as attachment to Krishna. Right? That does not mean that you can do anything and do bhakti. Your bhakti will not work. Your chanting will not work if you are doing the mistakes. So it does not mean that not take seriously means keep on doing the mistakes. No, you will experience that your chanting taste is gone, you are feeling dull. So your bhakti cannot continue when you keep doing these offenses or these mistakes again and again. So one of the instruction that will come up is do the things which are favorable, avoid the things which are not favorable. So that is bhakti process, right? It's a science. So let us discuss this more details. I wrote these 2-3 points. If somebody comes across some points or some answers or shlokas during the week which answer this, please share on this group. So we keep the vibrations going. Vaisheshika Prabhu always says, keep the vibrations going. And nowadays this word vibes very important, right? Brother vibes, couple vibes, all these vibes very important. So we said keep the transcendental vibes going. Right. So whatever questions we have today or discussions we plan to do next week, experience this. If you think on those repeatedly, you will come across some lectures or some reading, some book, where there will be the hints of this. So if possible, try to invite that consciousness and see if those things come up, then write down. This is the way, if you are sincerely desiring to improve something or change something, Krishna reciprocates in this way. There will be some class or some person will suddenly say something, oh, I did some prashchit for this. Then you have to, it should pinch you immediately. Oh, this thing is connected to what I wanted to do. So this is reciprocation. So then the life becomes interesting. Right? So let's try to do this throughout the week. Also keep our eyes, ears open to the transcendental vibrations, and be conscious of that. I think it's a very good discussion, and we'll continue this next week also. And these 11 shlokas are only a small book is there, right? But it's no surprise that if we discuss one shloka for 5 hours, that's why it is only this much instructions will give you pure bhakti, right? Okay, thank you very much for your time and your sharing of experiences and sharing your realizations and keeping the questions coming so we discuss more, we realize more, and we help each other.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna, thank you very much.
Please, can we do some chanting?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna chanting, can we do?
Yeah, we can, because I didn't
Like
I didn't start my chanting for
Kirtana.
the day, right? So we can chant one round at least together.
Yeah, please. Thank you so much.
Yeah. If everybody has their japamala, then please take
Yes.
10 minutes, we'll chant together, okay? If you can, switch on your cameras. If you can. If not, it's okay. Okay, we'll start. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Rudra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram Hare Hare. Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram.
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram.
Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram
Hare
Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram.
Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare.
Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare
Guru
Ram
Bhakta,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, thank you for joining, thank you for arranging,
Thank you,
for
thank you,
discussing.
thank you,
Hare
thank
Krishna,
you,
Hare
thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.